Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. The DLC 3 Gorod Krovi trailer dropped yesterday, and it contains several new weapons to the Zombies mode that we're going to be talking about in this video. Now, the heavy hitters are the PPSH and the supposed Raygun Mark III, and we'll be getting to those in due course, but first of all, we're going to be taking a look at the new bipod weapon that is in the map. You can use it, it's mounted on one of the walls for you to mow down zombies with, and it's very reminiscent of the MG42 from Call of Duty World at War. If we take a look at some World at War gameplay, you can see that visually it's pretty much identical, but I don't think that in Gorod Krovi we're going to be able to actually run around with this weapon. I think that it's going to be specifically mounted in this area, and we're going to be able to use it when we want to, or maybe buy access to it or something like that. I don't think it's going to be a box weapon or a wall weapon. If it is, that would be fantastic. I would be so happy, but I'm skeptical. Just to give you a quick bit of context, the MG42 was probably the second most desirable gun in World at War Zombies. So it's an awesome weapon, and I really do hope that we can get it out of the box and slay some Z's with it. In this shot here, we see that the MX Garand is indeed returning. I just wanted to quickly point that out. Then in this shot, a lot of people have been saying, Milo, this doesn't look like the Argus that I'm familiar with. What's going on? Well, it's pack-a-punched here, and it's got the extended mags attachment on it, and the back of the gun does look just a little different to how I would expect, but I'm going to chalk that up to the fact that this is a trailer, and I don't think there are any actual significant differences. Here we get our first look at the zombie shield on the map, which looks absolutely freaking awesome. This thing looks so damn cool, and just to make things even cooler, when you use the hit with the shield, the melee, when you attack with it, it sends out this green fireball, and you can see, if I slow this clip down, it travels through the room and sort of bounces between the zombies seemingly and just takes them out. It's so damn epic, and I can't wait to use this thing in game. The next thing we see, in my opinion, is going to be this map's specialist ability. So we've had the swords, we've had the Ragnarok, we've had the Annihilator, and now we appear to have this charge, which looks like a sort of cross between the Spectre ability from the multiplayer and some of the Cybercore abilities that you have in the campaign. Then we see the Kimbo Shadow Claw here, which is a nice addition to the mode because that hasn't been in the previous maps. And finally, we've reached the point in the video where I can start talking about the Raygun Mark III. But is it a Raygun Mark III, or is it something a little bit more interesting than that? Let's find out. Let's take a look at the gun while it's in the box first of all, to get a really good look at the actual structure. So it appears to be what essentially is an evolved version of the Raygun Mark II, except this time it's akimbo. So the idea is that you akimbo dual wield the Raygun Mark III. But when we see it in actual use, in Dempsey's hands, we do not see the same models, the same two guns that we saw in the mystery box. Instead, in his right hand, he's indeed holding the Raygun Mark III, or one half of it, but in his other hand, he's holding something that looks completely different. So, is this going to play out similarly to the wave gun on Moon, where you have two halves of a gun and then you can combine them somehow, they can interact with one another, and you end up with a different weapon as a result of that combination? Let me know what you think in the comments down below, because we only actually see the right side of this gun, the gun in Dempsey's right hand, being fired. That's how we know for sure that this is a ray gun variant, because it's firing that green burst that we're oh so familiar with at this point, but the gun in his left hand doesn't do anything at all. So what the hell's going on? Very, very peculiar. Before we move on, I do want to quickly say as well that the electricity that is zapping the zombies here, and then the sort of sliquifier goo that bursts out of the zombies, is not due to the Mark III. Or at least it certainly doesn't seem to be. To me, it definitely looks more likely that it's the actual drill itself, this thing that has just dropped out of the sky, causing that electricity to chain between the zombies and then make them explode and burst. That's what looks most likely in my opinion, just because of the way the electricity is actually flowing between the zombies. However, it is always possible that that gun in his left hand is like marking the zombies to be zapped by the drill or something like that. Who knows? We have 3 guns left in this video. 2 of them are in the trailer, and one of them, the rocket launcher that I mentioned in the title and you're probably scratching your head about, isn't actually in the trailer on YouTube. Instead, it's elsewhere. It's in separate videos on either Instagram or Facebook. They only uploaded it to those platforms for some reason. But first of all, let's just get through the more important stuff. The PPSH, which is one, it's in the box, the player picks it up, it looks completely classic, it looks pretty much untouched, and that is just, it's music to my ears, man. Seeing that gun and being able to use that gun is just the best, so that is awesome. There's also the FFAR, which is in the box, which is basically the FAMAS, which is cool to see included now. And finally, if we go to the Instagram video or the Facebook video that I mentioned just now, we can see that the L4 Siege rocket launcher is also going to be in the Zombies map. Now, the interesting thing is that rocket launcher can lock onto stuff. So are we going to be able to lock onto any planes potentially in the sky and shoot them down or things like that? Wouldn't that be cool? I certainly hope that's going to be possible, in some capacity at least. It would be cool for like a little Easter egg or something, so fingers crossed. But anyway, hopefully this has been a useful video for you guys, showing you all of the new guns that are being introduced into Gorod Krovi. Some of them are from the multiplayer, some of them are completely new, like the PPSH. Maybe the PPSH will be coming to the multiplayer now. Wouldn't that be crazy? But anyway, leave a like if you've enjoyed this, subscribe if you've really enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.